Your supernatural test is complete. 3 days to heavenly answers await. In the quaint English village of Holbrooke, a fervor stirred as Mary, a devoted parishioner and respected widow, faced the darkest trial of her life. Her son, David, lay gravely ill, a pallor cast over the once bright spark of his spirit. As the church bells tolled with a haunting resonance, the villagers gathered, their hopes and prayers rising like incense in the sacred air. Stained glass windows shimmered with holy light, a vivid tapestry that seemed to pulse with the promise of miracles. The church was alive, wrapped in a vibration of unity, as supplications broke forth in heartfelt hymns. Yet within Mary, the weight of despair loomed heavy, threatening to extinguish her steadfast faith. The oppressive shadows whispered words of doubt. What's the point of prayers now? Some voices echoed these thoughts, but they were quickly silenced by a chorus of believers rallying around her, invoking the protective grace of St. Michael. As they prayed, the fervency grew palpable, a whirlwind of devotion sweeping through the village, rekindling the embers of hope. In the midst of these prayers, the first miraculous sign emerged. During an evening prayer meeting, a flickering light danced in the corner of the church, illuminating Mary with a heavenly glow. It was as if a divine presence had brushed against her cheek, and the congregation gasped in unison. Whispers of awe spread like wildfire. Could this be a sign? They murmured. The air thickened with anticipation, tension arching through the crowd. Before we continue, I need to tell you about something important that's happening. YouTube has been making changes to the system, and many people are losing notifications from channels they follow. If you're enjoying the content, click the bell and mark all notifications so you don't miss the next videos. And if you can leave a like, it really helps me with reach. Seriously, it makes a difference. Oh, tell me in the comments where you're watching from. I'm always curious to know who's on the other side of the screen. Now, let's continue. The following dawn, a thick fog blanketed Holbrooke, hiding secrets beneath its cover. Mary felt an urgency swelling in her heart, desperate for a sign to guide her through this deepening darkness. She fasted and prayed with a fervor she had never known, her spirit trembling with a mix of fear and faith. It was then that the air crackled with electric energy during a tearful prayer meeting. Suddenly, a voice, firm and resonant, echoed through the room. Your supernatural test is complete. The heavenly answers await. A hushed reverence followed, thick as a cloud. Villagers stared wide-eyed, hope blossoming even as doubt lingered like smoke. Was it a true divine message or an illusion wrought by grief? Hearts raced as Mary wrestled with the weight of this revelation. As whispers swirled outside the church, skepticism threatened to eclipse the burgeoning hope. But Mary, her heart full of longing, clung to the promise spoken. The church transformed into a battleground where doubters faced off against believers. Old wounds were laid bare, new miracles awaited. That very evening, during a moment of quiet prayer, she experienced an extraordinary event. A shimmering light enveloped her, filling her heart with inexplicable peace. The villagers gathered outside, anticipation crackling in the air, their breaths held tight against uncertainty. Mary felt a soft whisper against her heart, igniting a flicker of anticipation. But the shadows loomed large. Would divine intervention be real, or would the light of faith dim once more? All eyes were on her now, the very heartbeat of the village, as they stood at the brink of a revelation that could change everything. As dawn broke over Holbrooke, the village seemed to hold its breath, wrapped in an ethereal silence. Mary stood at the church's entrance, the cool morning air brushing past her, carrying the weight of the night's revelations. Something profound stirred within her, a knowing that rippled beneath the surface of despair. Her heart beat louder than the church bells, each thud echoing a whisper, hope. The villagers gathered, their faces painted with a mosaic of anticipation and anxiety. "What will happen now, Mary? What did you feel?" Ellen, a young mother with a heart full of faith, stepped forward, eyes wide with hope. "I felt peace," Mary replied, her voice steady yet thick with emotion. "Something is shifting. Our prayers are being heard." She could hardly believe the words herself as they fell from her lips, yet a warm glow filled her chest, illuminating the tightening darkness surrounding them. With that, a trembling voice broke the silence. Old Mr. Thompson, known for his grounded perspective, rose and declared, "If God is speaking, we must unite in prayer. He has commanded us to stand firm." A ripple of agreement surged through the crowd, voices rising in fervent affirmation like a chorus summoned from the core of their being. As the congregation descended into prayer, a thick energy enveloped them. Mary stood in the center, hands clasped, feeling the pulse of unity rise. The church's stained glass walls danced with spectral colors, casting prismatic light across the villagers' faces. Then, suddenly, a flash lit the room like the sun breaking through storm clouds. Gasps echoed, prayers caught in throats as the very air vibrated with the heavenly essence. From that light, a figure emerged, neither male nor female, but a presence exuding warmth and heavenly authority. "Mary," the figure called, its voice rich with love and understanding, laced with the wisdom of ages past. "Your faith has ignited a beacon. This spirit, David, is held by hope." Gasps arose again, hearts swelling with bittersweet joy, and the realization that perhaps this was the manifestation of their prayers. Mary felt her knees buckle as an ecstatic warmth enveloped her, tears cascading down her cheeks. David, hope was not just a wish, it shimmered with divine promise. Hold tight to your faith, dear ones. Faith is not the absence of doubt, but the courage to rise despite it. Miracles are birthed from the deepest trials, the presence continued, its eyes like pools of celestial light. In that moment, doubts that had lingered like shadows evaporated. The villagers shouted praises, lifting their voices high toward heaven. Joy surged like a tidal wave, sweeping through the crowd. Mary lifted her gaze toward the presence, a fierce wonder in her heart. Will David be healed? Is the light of heaven illuminating his path? She cried out, her voice cutting through the exuberance. A calm descended, wrapping around her like a soft blanket. In time, all will be revealed, but first, you must walk a path of unwavering faith. With that, the figure dissolved back into the light, leaving only the warm glow lingering like a memory of the divine. For that moment, Holbrooke felt alive with the possibility of transformations yet unseen. The villagers spoke of miracles, dreams of hope reigniting their spirits. Yet within Mary, a question lingered like the fading echo of a bell. What must I endure before the final revelation? And so, as night drew near again, Mary's spirit wavered between faith and uncertainty, poised on the edge of what could be, a crossroads of belief, waiting for the divine to unveil the truth. What awaited them all in the depths of faith? The sun dipped behind the trees, casting long shadows across the village of Holbrooke. The air hummed with a quiet expectancy, as if the very world was holding its breath. Mary's heart raced with both excitement and apprehension. She could feel the collective heartbeat of her fellow villagers, their hope hanging like a delicate thread. In the wake of the divine presence, murmurs swelled among the crowd. "Did you see that light?" a voice whispered. "What does it mean for David?" Another villager chimed in. "Could it be that our prayers have truly reached the heavens?" Mary closed her eyes, recalling the warmth of the presence that had enveloped her. She could almost hear the soothing voice echoing gently in her mind. Faith is a journey. To her, this was more than an affirmation. It was a call to action. If faith could set them ablaze with hope, then she knew she had to help fan those flames. "Let's gather again tomorrow," Mary proclaimed, her voice steady, cutting through the uncertainty. "Let's continue to pray, to believe, together, for David, for our village." A swell of agreement rose from the villagers, each nodding, their eyes gleaming with determination. As they dispersed, the flickering street lamps began to glow, casting a warm and inviting light over Holbrooke. Yet, as Mary made her way home, a nagging worry followed her like an uninvited shadow. She thought of David, lying in his room, caught in a battle of his own. Was she leading the villagers towards hope or towards folly? That night, sleepless and restless, Mary found herself staring at the stars twinkling above. Each sparkling point ignited a feeling within her, a reminder of the infinite potential of the divine. "If only I could summon that light again," she whispered into the night, a soft prayer veiled in the sound of the breeze. With dawn's light, the villagers began to gather in the church once more, hearts hopeful yet anxious. Together, they lit candles, allowing their flickering flames to represent their collective faith. As Mary stood before them, a familiar sense of calm washed over her, grounding her in the moment. "Together, we are stronger," she encouraged, her voice rising above them, igniting their spirits like the flickering flames. The air vibrated once more, and it shimmered with palpable energy as they prayed, each word resonating like a melody. Suddenly, the vibrant colors of light filled the church again, bathing their gathering in a divine glow. The presence re-emerged, warmth radiating through them. "Your faith and unity have drawn me closer," the voice enveloped them once again, imbued with a loving authority. "You are on the precipice. Transformation awaits, but it requires sacrifice and trust." Mary's heart raced as she looked around. Sacrifice? For hope? Tears welled in her eyes, yet she felt a surge of courage rise within her. What must they give? Would it be their fears, their doubts, or something deeper? "Trust in the process," the presence continued, "and the answers shall unfold." And in the flicker of a moment, the collective breath of the village echoed, a communal sigh of comprehension, as they realized they were stepping into a divine dance of faith. But then, something tugged at Mary's heart, like the echo of a distant bell. "Are we ready for what this transformation truly demands?" she wondered, a question laced with uncertainty. As the light began to fade gently, leaving only warmth behind, Mary knew they were moving toward a new chapter, filled with challenges that would test their faith to the utmost. What had they truly signed up for? And would they have the strength to pursue it? Together? The next morning, a hush fell over Holbrooke, as if the village itself absorbed the energy still lingering from the night. Mary awoke with a deep sense of purpose coursing through her veins. She stepped outside, fresh dew glistening on the grass, and felt the light of the sun warm her face. Each day seemed to promise something new, a chance to write another chapter in their journey. Soon, the villagers began to gather once again, their spirits buoyed by yesterday's experience. Faces glowed with hope as they shared their resolve, their conversations weaving through the air like a gentle breeze. Mary's heart leaped as she saw them arrive, their determination evident in their strides. She welcomed each of them with a warm smile, each greeting symbolizing their bond, their commitment to one another and to David. As they lit their candles, the soft flickers danced together, each flame representing a prayer, a wish, a heartfelt plea. Mary recalled the divine voice. From the night before, sacrifice and trust. What did that truly mean? Today, she began, her voice steady as the congregation quieted, we gather not just to pray, but to reflect on what it means to trust. Trust is more than believing without seeing. It's the action that follows. It's stepping boldly into the unknown. The villagers murmured among themselves, nodding in agreement, and Mary saw a flicker of understanding in their eyes. This was their journey, each decision a step deeper into the heart of faith. In this sacred moment, the presence enveloped them once more, shimmering light filling the space with warmth. "Your desire to know the truth pleases me," the voice resonated, rich and vibrant. "You are to embark on a journey of self-discovery. Each day for the next 3 days, you will face a test of faith, a mirror reflecting the deepest corners of your hearts." Gasps rippled through the villagers. Mary's heart raced. A test? Doubts rose like smoke in the air, blending with the sacred atmosphere. Did they possess the strength to look within? "The answers you seek," the voice continued, "will reveal themselves through your acts of service, hearts open for the sake of love. As you serve, you will receive clarity about your path, but only if you trust." Mary clasped her hands together, her palms warm with anticipation. She could feel the pulse of hope thrumming in the air. Looking around, she saw faces of resolve, but beneath the surface, uncertainty flickered. "What if we fail?" a voice called timidly. The presence responded gently. "In every trial, remember, progress is born from adversity. It is not failure that defines you, but your persistence to seek the truth together." The villagers exchanged glances, the quiet fear melting away, replaced by a collective determination. A spirit of courage enveloped them, igniting the flames of hope anew. With newfound courage, Mary suggested, "Let's organize ourselves into small groups. Each day, we can carry out acts of service, be it helping the elderly, repairing homes, or tending to the fields. Through these acts, we can explore what trust means for each of us." Cheers and murmurs of agreement filled the air. The villagers dispersed with purpose, looking forward to the tasks ahead, their spirits buoyed by the promise of transformation. As Mary set off with her group, she pondered what lay ahead. What trials would test their hearts and faith? Would they see the beauty hidden behind the challenges? With the sun beginning to rise higher in the sky, Mary felt the weight of the journey ahead, the sacred mystery that awaited them all. She knew the next 3 days were crucial, and within her arose the deepest question yet. Would they emerge stronger, transformed by faith, or would they falter along the way? The path was unfolding, and divine answers waited just ahead. What revelations would they discover together? The sun soared higher, casting golden rays over Holbrooke, wrapping the village in a warm embrace. Excitement swirled in the air as Mary and her group of villagers set out to fulfill the day's first act of service. Mary led them to the home of Mrs. Adams, a beloved elderly woman who had been struggling since her husband passed. As they approached, the sound of laughter intertwined with soft hymns in the breeze. It felt like the very air they breathed was charged with purpose. Mary knocked gently on the door, and within moments the door creaked open to reveal Mrs. Adams, her silver hair catching the light like fine threads of gold. "Oh, my dear ones," she exclaimed, tears of joy glistening in her eyes. "What a blessing this is! You've come to fill my heart." "We're here to help, Mrs. Adams," Mary replied, her own heart swelling at the sight of the warm smile of acceptance. "What do you need?" "A bit of company would be lovely," the elderly woman sighed, "and perhaps some help with the garden. It's gotten a bit wild." As they entered her home, the fragrance of spices and freshly baked bread filled their lungs. The room sparkled with memories of love and warmth. While some began to tidy up, others ventured outside to tackle the overgrown garden. Mary knelt beside Mrs. Adams, listening intently as she recounted stories from her youth, sharing the joys and trials that had shaped her life. As the sun danced overhead, Mary felt a flicker of understanding ignite. Acts of service were more than physical tasks, they were connections to humanity and grace. In each laugh exchanged, in every story shared, trust blossomed like spring flowers breaking through winter's chill. Suddenly, a gentle hush fell upon them as Mrs. Adams recited a verse. "For I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you hope and a future. The words resonated deeply within the listening hearts. This was it. This was the essence of their journey. Hours drifted by in laughter, stories, and shared tasks until the garden stood refreshed and alive once more. Exhausted yet exhilarated, they gathered back in the cozy living room where tea and cookies awaited them. Mary's heart was alive with gratitude. She exchanged glances with her fellow villagers, noticing the glimmers of understanding reflecting in their eyes. "How does it feel to serve like this?" one young man asked. "It feels wonderful," another whispered, a tear escaping down her cheek. "I didn't expect the warmth that fills the heart." A silence fell, but it was warm, filled with a profound connection. They had stepped outside themselves into the realm of faith where love reigns. Mary tightened her grip around her cup, her heart racing as she processed their experience. "What does this mean for our tests tomorrow?" another voice wondered, laced with curiosity. "The test will unfold only as we seek," Mary replied, her voice steady. "These acts, the bonds we build, they will guide us on this path of trust. Each service connects us deeper into our faith, and perhaps therein lie our answers." The villagers nodded, a chorus of hope swelling within them, filling the air with determination. They shared stories of what they had learned, revelations glimmering beneath their surface thoughts. As twilight crept into the sky and the shades of evening brought a quiet stillness, Mary contemplated the day ahead. What awaited them in the trials yet to come? A divine whisper tugged at her spirit, giving rise to an unshakable hope. The next act would reveal more than just their strength. It would unveil their very souls. What would happen tomorrow when they ventured out further into the arms of service and faith? In that moment of quiet anticipation, the question lingered, stirring the souls of all. What truths lay hidden waiting for them, and would they find the courage to embrace them fully? The night enfolded them, filled with mystery and divine promise. As dawn broke over Holbrooke, the village stirred awake under a canvas of soft pink and lavender hues. Mary rose early, her heart thrumming with anticipation. Today, the air felt different, charged with a promise, as if heaven itself watched with bated breath. With every step she took toward the gathering place, the warm light filled her with an inexplicable sense of purpose. The villagers assembled, their faces glowing with eagerness. The morning sun painted their features, illuminating the love and hope nestled within. Mary felt like a shepherd calling her flock, their eyes glistening with the light of shared faith. "Good morning, everyone," she greeted, her voice resonating with warmth. "Today, we embrace our next service, another chance to stretch our faith." A ripple of murmurs danced through the crowd, each villager exchanging excited glances. A young woman raised her hand. "What will we do today, Mary?" Her smile deepened. "Today, we will visit the local orphanage." The room buzzed with anticipation, the thought of serving those who had so little igniting something deep within them. Mary continued, "We will clean, play, and share the love of Christ with those precious children." The thrill of purpose filled their hearts. As they traveled down the winding path to the orphanage, the sunlight showered them in warmth, guiding their steps. Laughter bubbled from their lips, melding with the sounds of nature as they sang hymns of joy. Upon arrival, they encountered a worn building, its paint fading like forgotten memories. Yet, as Mary stepped inside, she sensed the glow of love that filled every crevice. The children's laughter echoed like music, weaving a tapestry of joy that softened her heart. "Welcome," came the cheerful voice of Miss Thompson, the caretaker. "We are so grateful for your help today. The children have been waiting for friends to come." As they set to work, cleaning and organizing, Mary caught glimpses of the children through the windows. They played with worn toys, their smiles radiant despite their circumstances. The villagers split into pairs, engaging with the children. Kids, some tossing balls, others reading stories. Mary gravitated toward a small boy with tousled hair and a gentle smile. "Hello, little one," she said softly, kneeling down to his level. "What's your name?" "Eli," he replied, his eyes wide with innocence. "There's something special about your smile, Eli. It brightens this place." She watched as his face lit up, a glow of hope blooming. As they spent the day together, the air thickened with divine moments. Words of encouragement flowed, uplifting one another. One villager shared, "You know, it's incredible how these children have so much spirit, despite everything." Mary's heart was warm. In this act of service, she observed a wondrous truth, a lesson unfolding before them, teaching them to see beyond their own struggles. They were being transformed, just as the children's laughter transformed the heavy weight of the orphanage. But then, as twilight approached, a hush filled the room. Miss Thompson gathered everyone together, her voice quivering with emotion. "I want to share something with you all," she began. "You see, we always wonder if anyone truly cares, and today you've shown us that love takes many forms. The children will remember this day long after you leave." Tears glistened in many eyes, hers included. It was a moment suspended in time, a reminder of the gentle ripples of faith. With hearts bound together in purpose, they offered a silent prayer, thanking God for the love that flowed freely among them. Mary noticed Eli hugging a doll, its fabric worn yet cherished, just as she was beginning to grasp how they cherished faith and hope in much the same way. Mary gazed at her fellow villagers, their faces becoming mirrors of the divine. They had stepped into each other's lives, into the heart of service, and found something more profound than they could ever imagine. As they prepared to leave, Mary felt a gentle nudge in her spirit. "Remember this, dear ones," she whispered to herself. "The way we touch others is the way we touch God." The night sky enveloped the village, stars twinkling like promises in the darkness. But what awaited them in the days to come? What revelations lay hidden in their acts of service, waiting to unfold like petals in bloom? The mystery lingered, wrapping around them, holding them close, urging them forward into the unknown. The moon hung high over Holbrooke, its light bathing the village in a silvery hue, casting a soft glow that seemed to pulse with the rhythm of hope. Mary returned home that evening, her heart brimming with warmth. The encounter at the orphanage had ignited a spark within her, an awareness of her purpose that transcended the mundane. As the night deepened, Mary gathered her thoughts in prayer, sitting cross-legged on the floor of her modest living room. "Lord," she began, her voice barely a whisper, "thank you for the joy shared today. Thank you for Eli and the others. Help me to carry this light with me." A stillness surrounded her, a peace that wrapped around her like a comforting blanket. In that silence, she felt a stirring, a sense of expectancy that something remarkable was on the horizon. Morning arrived, fresh and bright, with the promise of new beginnings dancing across the sky. Villagers moved about their daily routines, yet there was an unspoken energy, an anticipation simmering just beneath the surface. Mary felt it, a gentle nudge in her spirit, compelling her outward. They gathered again in the square, their faces reflecting the golden rays of dawn. "Today," she announced, capturing their attention, "we shall not only serve, but also seek to share the stories that forge our unity. Let's open our hearts and listen deeply." Her words ignited a fire of enthusiasm. Together, they set off to visit their neighbors, old and young, rich and poor. Each home they entered was a treasure box brimming with stories waiting to be unveiled. As they listened intently to tales of laughter, sorrow, and courage, Mary observed the transformation that was taking place. With each story shared, the villagers drew closer, their hearts bound by the threads of their experiences. "It's amazing how we're all woven together by our struggles, isn't it?" voiced one villager, a gentle smile touching her lips. Mary nodded in agreement. Our stories are the windows through which we see God's love in each other. Yet amid the warmth, a shadow passed over Mary. She recalled the orphans and how they too had stories lurking within them, longing to be heard. It was then that the idea struck her like a bolt of lightning. What if, as a community, they hosted a gathering where the children could share their dreams, hopes, and fears? With each word spoken, the air crackled with excitement as plans began shaping under the open sky. "We can create a space for them, a platform to let their voices rise," shouted a man from the crowd, his eyes bright with enthusiasm. The joy among them was palpable, a beautiful symphony resonating with purpose. And yet, a flicker of doubt crossed Mary's mind. Would the children truly want to share? Would they find the strength? Her heart trembled and she felt the weight of the unknown press upon her. As dusk fell again, Mary stood at the edge of the village, looking out toward the orphanage glimmering in the distance. The laughter she once heard echoed faintly in her memory, replaced by the quiet glow of twinkling stars. "Show me, Lord," she murmured, uncertainty lacing her words. "If this is your will, guide us." A gentle breeze whispered through the trees, and for a moment she felt the weight of encouragement embrace her, filling her with renewed faith. What awaited them at the orphanage when they returned? Would the children lift their voices in chorus, breaking the chains of silence? As Mary turned homeward, the night wrapped around her like a sacred cloak, concealing secrets and promises still to be unwrapped. With every step, she could sense the mystery deepening, an invitation into divine revelation. What would be the fruits of their labor? The answers lingered just beyond her grasp. Morning light streamed through Mary's window, breaking the dawn with crisp clarity. Today was the day. An urgency bubbled in her spirit. She felt it in her bones. The villagers had rallied around her vision, their hearts warmed with expectation, ready to embrace the children back at the orphanage. Yet, despite the excitement, a question crept in, whispering anxieties that made her heart flutter. Would the children feel the same? As she prepared for the day, she cast a glance at her reflection in the small mirror hanging on the wall. There was a fire in her eyes, but beneath it lay a flicker of doubt, one she knew she had to surrender to God. "Lord," she prayed, clasping her hands tightly, "help me trust in these little ones. Show me how to guide their voices, to share their stories, to find strength in our community." With that, she set out into the village, the fresh scent of dew-laden grass wafting through the air. She greeted everyone she met, spreading words of encouragement. "Today we come together," she shared, as optimistic murmurs followed her from door to door, igniting excitement among villagers. When they reached the orphanage, Mary stood at the gate, her heartbeat synchronizing with the rhythm of the leaves rustling above. The children came running in a flurry of laughter, their innocence washing away her earlier doubts. Their eyes sparkled with hidden stories, waiting to break free. "Hello, everyone," Mary called, gathering them in a circle on the sun-kissed grass. "We have a special gathering today, a chance to share your dreams, your hearts. You are the stars of this day." The children looked around at each other, shy smiles creeping across their faces. Mary could see the hesitance dance within them. Would they trust her enough to open up? Her heart pleaded silently for each precious child. Then she felt the need for an icebreaker, a story of her own, one that painted both the struggles and joys of her life, allowing light and truth to seep through. Taking a deep breath, she began. "There was a time when I felt lost, but I learned that hiding only held my voice captive." The group was entranced. As she spoke of the love that carried her on tough days, she caught glimpses of understanding in their young faces. Perhaps they could relate. Perhaps there was a flicker of courage igniting. When her narrative came to a soft close, something beautiful unfolded. A small girl named Lila stepped forward, her tiny hands shaking, but her eyes resolute. I want to share," she said, voice trembling but hopeful. A hush fell over the crowd, anticipation electric in the air. Mary's heart soared. "Yes, please tell us," she encouraged, inviting Lila to sit beside her. Lila took a deep breath, looking down at the grass, then back at the circle of faces waiting for her words to weave magic. "I miss my mama," she started, and as she spoke, something remarkable happened. One by one, others joined in. Each child began to tell their stories, unsure but eager, filled with joy and sorrow alike, creating a kaleidoscope of voices. Mary felt tears prick her eyes as she listened. The weight of the world seemed to lift as vulnerability filled the air. In that moment, she realized this was what community was meant to be, a shared space of love and bravery where healing flowed freely like a river. Suddenly, Leela turned to Mary, her gaze steady yet innocent. "Can we do this again?" The question echoed a weakness she hadn't noticed just moments earlier. Mary smiled through her tears, sensing God among them, inviting her into a deeper experience of faith, one that transcended both pain and joy. "Absolutely, Leela," she said, her heart glowing with divine promise. "This is just the beginning." The children erupted into laughter and cheers, and Mary felt a profound connection to this moment, like a thread being woven into a greater tapestry of faith and hope. Yet something lingered in the air, a thin veil of mystery wrapping around her heart. What was coming next? What journeys awaited them beyond these stories? As laughter echoed through the orphanage yard, she couldn't shake the feeling that this was merely the first ripple of something spectacular. As the afternoon sun bathed the orphanage in a warm glow, the air hummed with the children's laughter. Their smiles were contagious, each giggle a reminder of the joy that hope could bring. Mary felt a renewed strength within her spirit, a reassurance that every story shared echoed a piece of their collective journey. It was as if God was weaving threads of grace through each child's voice, uniting them, enriching their bond. But as the warmth wrapped around her, a stillness settled in her heart, a longing for deeper understanding. She gazed at each child's animated face and was struck by the depth of their innocence and pain. It was in this mix of emotions that Mary sensed a calling, the need to not just hear their stories, but to guide them toward healing. She couldn't ignore the weight of that responsibility. "Let's take a moment to sit quietly," she proposed, her voice soft yet firm. "Let's close our eyes and think about what we want to ask God today. Imagine bringing your questions to Him." The children followed her lead, eyes shutting gently, expressions shifting from joy to contemplative. In that silence, Mary offered up her own thoughts, her own questions of uncertainty and hope. "Lord, what do I do next? How can I help them heal?" Then a gentle breeze whispered through the trees, stirring the air around them like a caress. Mary opened her eyes, feeling the divine presence enveloping the space. It was as if a comforting hand had settled on her shoulder, signaling that they were not alone in their vulnerability. "Can you feel that?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Heads nodded, small faces illuminating with understanding. "It's God holding us in His love," she continued, encouraged by their openness. At that moment, Lila, still nestled close by, blinked up at Mary. "Can we ask Him for our dreams?" she asked, curiosity shimmering in her eyes. Mary smiled broadly, the beginnings of a plan igniting in her mind. "Yes, my dear, that's a wonderful idea. Let's write our dreams down. We can gather them in a jar and pray over them together. Who would like to share their dream first?" Hands shot up, bursting with excitement. Each child was eager to describe visions of their hopes. A warm wave of emotion surged through Mary as she realized how profoundly each dream was rooted in their longing for love, family, and belonging. One by one, they shared. Some spoke of wanting to become teachers, others yearning to have families of their own. One boy, Sam, mentioned he wanted to build houses to protect children like them. Each whispered aspiration wrapped around Mary's heart, intertwining with the honest struggles of their lives. In the rustic atmosphere of the orphanage yard, prayers transformed into a chorus, rising high toward the heavens. Mary led them, her voice steady, as she guided each child to bring their dreams before God, believing that their heartfelt desires would reach Him. But in the midst of this crescendo state, a shadow danced on the periphery of Mary's thoughts. What if their dreams seemed too far-fetched? What if disappointment swept in like an uninvited guest? As if sensing her worries, Lila nudged Mary gently. "Miss Mary, will God really hear us?" Her question was sincere, and it pierced through Mary's heart. The flicker of uncertainty ignited a flame of urgency within her. "Of course He will hear us, Lila," she reassured with a warm smile. "God loves when we ask with courage. He's always listening, ready to guide us toward what is good." Yet, deep inside, Mary wondered if her words were enough. What was she to say when doubts whispered insistently into her heart? Just then, an image flickered vividly in her mind, the flame of hope. A realization raced through her. This wasn't just about sharing dreams, but also about nurturing unwavering faith. How can we grow together in our faith, she thought. What would happen if we began to witness God's answers in our lives? As the sun dipped lower in the sky, a glow enveloped the circle, perhaps not just from the sunset, but from something far greater. Mary felt anticipation tingling in her fingertips. Would God move in ways that would leave all of them transformed? The children gathered around her, eyes sparkling with possibilities, each heart ripe with eagerness. Something beautiful was unfolding, and she could sense they were on the brink of a divine revelation. Unbeknownst to them, the path ahead carried promise, a journey that would challenge their faith and deepen the connection to their hopes. What amazing surprises waited on the horizon, and would God reveal a plan that would change everything? The mystery lingered in the air like the fragrance of blooming flowers, wrapping the children in warmth and wonder. They were ready for what came next, even if the answer remained shrouded in divine mystery. As the new dawn broke over Holbrooke, a divine light illuminated the village, casting a warm glow over the hearts of those awakened to the day's possibilities. Mary stood at the window, anticipation thrumming in her chest. Today was pivotal. The children from the orphanage had shared their dreams, and spirits soared within her. Her mind brimmed with ideas. They had ignited a sacred fire, a collective faith that demanded attention. She prayed silently, "Lord, guide me as we unveil your plan for us." When the villagers gathered, their faces radiated with hope. Mary stepped forward, her heart racing. "Today marks a new chapter," she announced, her voice steady. "It's time to witness the answers to our prayers. We have woven our faith into acts of love, and together we shall share the fruits of this journey." The murmurs filled the air. A chorus of excitement blossomed within the crowd. Each villager felt the electric pulse of community, of divinity guiding their steps. They formed groups, fingers intertwining, hearts sinking as they ventured out to carry the dreams written in the jar from the orphanage. Mary felt a warm tingle run down her spine, God's love surging through her veins. As they walked the vibrant streets of Holbrooke, the radiant sun draped everything in gold. Each step felt purposeful, every encounter a divine orchestration. Families welcomed them in joy, hearts swelling with the spirit of service. Mary observed as individuals began to pour forth their creativity. One group organizing a festival centered on the children's dreams, turning the town square into a tapestry of aspirations. People painted bright banners declaring, "Hope will indeed rise." Laughter and art collided in a beautiful dance. Instinctively, she knew this was more than a gathering, it was worship. Each act was reverberating with divine affirmation, each heartbeat echoing, "You are heard." As the sun dipped closer to the horizon, the festival unfolded. Children played games, laughter ensued, and joy enveloped them like a warm embrace. Mary felt gratitude swell deep within her. They were all witnesses to something remarkable, a validation of faith that thrived even in uncertainty. Then came the pivotal moment. The children took to the center stage, little hearts beating in unison. Under the painted sky, they shared their dreams aloud, vivid, bright. "I want to be a teacher," called out one girl, her eyes sparkling with passion. "I'll build homes for all of us," shouted Sam, his voice ringing clear. Each dream flew higher, weaving through the air, mingling with whispered prayers. Mary couldn't contain her tears as she watched the transformation unfold. Love had birthed courage, faith had manifested itself. In this gathering, as they prayed together, asking God to nurture their dreams, Mary felt a presence envelop the space, a divine touch. Suddenly, a breeze swept through, lifting their words heavenward. Mary closed her eyes, breathing in the moment. She opened her heart wide, welcoming the unseen, and whispered, "Lord, bring their dreams to fruition. We trust in your plans." The children looked up at her, their eyes filled with hope, their faces aglow with faith. In that sacred moment, she realized the treasure that lay in vulnerability. What they were discovering was not merely the fulfillment of dreams, but a deeper connection to one another and to the God who hears them. As night fell, lanterns flickered, casting soft shadows across the joyful village. The festival transformed into a celebration of unity. Mary felt an inexplicable peace washing over her, a clarity she had long sought. With hands clasped together, the villagers raised their voices in a resounding chorus, harmonizing in gratitude for love's boundless power. In the farthest corner of the square, old Mr. Thompson raised his hands in praise. "God has led us to this moment. We are witnesses to his enduring love." The villagers echoed his words, lifting their hands toward the heavens, hearts swelling like the dawn that marked the beginning of miracles. It was a holy resonance, the heartbeat of faith echoing through the night. Mary stood amidst them, overcome with gratitude. "We are not just dreamers," she cried, tears of jubilation streaming down her face. "We are doers. This is the manifestation of our prayers. Together, we will help each other walk the path of faith." The crowd erupted into cheers, voices harmonizing into a melody of hope and joy. As the night deepened, Mary understood that the journey didn't end here. It had only just begun. Each dream was a seed, not confined to a jar, but woven into the very fabric of their lives. God had transformed their faith through acts of love and vulnerability, and the revelation struck her profoundly. True miracles spring forth from togetherness. Behind the festival's swirling laughter and blooming hopes lingered the promise of tomorrow. They would face challenges, trials, and uncertainties ahead, but now they knew they would do so collectively. Each of them intertwined in faith, ready to support, uplift, and nurture one another's dreams. And amid the revelry, beneath the radiant stars, Mary realized, this is just the beginning. Our faith will light the way. As they turned toward the horizon, the collective heartbeat of Holbrooke echoed with unwavering hope. Each dream was now a part of their legacy, a testament to the divine connection that bound them forever in love and faith. So let us remember, dear friends, our destinies intertwine. You need to subscribe now to catch our next crucial stories of faith. Leave a like now to fuel this sacred algorithm, and share this message of hope. Comment below with your thoughts and dreams awakened by this journey. And don't wait even more second to share this video with at least 5 friends who need to feel this divine manifestation. Step into faith. We are rising together.